Oh, hey. Um, hey guys. I'm Dale, and this is my COMM2123 Week 4 video discussion on Web 1, 2, and 3.0. I just want to start by saying I've never heard of the internet. I don't have any knowledge of Web 1.0, and that's all I got to say about that. Well, since I've already told you that I'm a computer geek, and I have been since the early 90s, I guess it's too late to try to sell you this fake news. The fact is, I was developing web pages in HTML back in the early 90s. I had a header bar with the title page, a menu bar that took up about 20% of the screen on the left, and a body that took up the remaining 80% of the screen. And that's where most of my content would appear. It was basically an interactive magazine, and the menu on the left changed depending on how deep you were in the site, and the header would always take you back to my home page. I ran a few pages, but the one I remember best and missed the most is the one that brought together a large group of automotive and motorcycle enthusiasts. I posted a few pictures of the person's car along with a description and details. That was back in Web 1.0, so it wasn't interactive, but I did post some of the best email responses that I received on each vehicle. And most of those photos I received came from right here in the United States. But I also received photos from as far away as Canada, Mexico, England, Ireland, Germany, Australia, and even Japan. I mean, the day I got the very first picture from overseas, I was jumping up and down. I went in there and told my wife, I was like, wow, this is great. And it lasted for a couple of years. But, as MySpace became a thing, my page started losing interest, and I eventually took it down. So even though it wasn't mentioned in either of the videos, MySpace was Web 2.0. The instant interaction and ability for anyone and everyone to post whatever they wanted in the moment before they've had a chance to really think things through or proofread what they wrote was born. Suddenly, dozens of people could talk all at once and not be offended. Of course, that changed, but in the beginning, we were all just so giddy about the technology, we just kept talking. I think we all have a pretty good idea of what Web 2.0 is. It's the interactive ability, the wiki sites with many layers, and those crazy pop-up ads that show up when I'm trying to read something that I value. So I want to kind of skip ahead a little bit. Web 3.0 has really been a thing for about 7 years or more. Once they started buzzing around the Internet of Things, that was kind of the beginning. And even though it hasn't completely took off, they've been talking about it for a good long time. It's the ability to create and save content in the cloud, software as services instead of products, and the hyper connectivity that we're enjoying. That's where we do every single thing that we do online. I think we're seeing a lot of evidence of this. It includes augmented reality and virtual reality, and I'm just trying to cope with my reality, Businesses use social media as marketing, and we're able to purchase refrigerators and trash cans that scan the barcodes and allow us to track what we have in our personal inventory and automatically add items to our shopping list, or just order it and have it delivered. We can hail a ride from a variety of rideshare sources and then use the app to see where they are and know when they're going to arrive. And that's all super cool. It's a little creepy. Speaking of creepy, Professor Chapman mentioned the recent issues plaguing Facebook. And I've been considering closing my Facebook account for a few years, and actually had it deactivated because of the privacy and security concerns that I had back when I first started the program. My account was actually in a deactivated state when I first started this program, and because it relies so heavily around communication on social media, I reactivated my account and pushed forward with it. It's been about a year now, And this week, additional news came out about data concerns with Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. These are platforms that we were encouraged to trust and to use to communicate with family and friends and share everything about our lives. And that's what a lot of us did. As I've stated in previous videos, we shared pretty much everything. We shared what time we woke up, what we had for breakfast, when we finally had our coffee, when we finished our workout, when we went out to lunch with friends, and how good or bad the service was, and what happened when we got home. Conversations broke out on what we were seeing on TV as if we were all in this big, massive room. But we could be comfortable in our jammies or loungewear and stretch out on the couch. Well, I think Facebook's finally blown it. And it's really common knowledge to me. You know, I'm a computer guy. I think it's common knowledge to a lot of people. I see it being talked about on my local news. I see it a lot. I think it's common knowledge to most people. Facebook and Google tracks our every movement through our phones. And the problem is that they're selling that data to major corporations like Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon, along with who knows who else, right? And now they're facing criminal charges over how they've handled users' information without their consent. Well, this goes back to things my folks would always tell me. Nothing is free. Everything has a price. And in this case, that price is my privacy. Now, don't get me wrong. The stuff I post, you know, I understand that that's probably going to be public, right? So I'm not entirely surprised if it escapes what I think is public and, you know, kind of takes on a life of its own. I kind of almost expect that. What I'm bothered about is the shadow data or shadow profiles that Facebook, Google, and others collect and use against our knowledge and against our better judgment. Yeah, there's that fine print stuff, but who reads that? I mean, I have. Some have. Most don't. And most, even after they've read it, kind of forget about it because, well, everybody else is doing it. It's okay. So I took action, and I went in. I haven't used WhatsApp in a long time, but I logged in and completely deleted my WhatsApp data and deleted my account. Then I went to Instagram, completely deleted my data, and deleted my account. And right now, my Facebook account is currently deactivated again with the intent to completely delete it in the next month or so. Now, I'm not sure what that means for this program. I guess I'll have to rethink things. I chose this program to be a better writer with the intent on becoming an author. I don't really feel like the subject leads towards that goal. Everything's been very centered around, you know, how we communicate social media. Not really how I communicate through other things. So may need to have a discussion on that. So I've already told you I'm a computer technician. I know how I can drop out of the collective view of Google and Facebook, but it's nearly impossible. I mean, I've got Windows, I've got Mac, I've got Linux boxes. I could probably pull out something that would be used as a non-smart phone. And if not, I'm sure I can go find a flip phone, but I mean, you know how it is. But here's the thing. Even if I get rid of a cell phone altogether and just go to a land-based line, every friend that has your contact information and uses social media is unknowingly uploading pieces of data to these shadow profiles that Facebook and Google keep on all of us. If you call them, text them, email them, bits of those conversations are stored without our knowledge and against our will. This is not a conspiracy theory. You can find it on any news site. Everybody's talked about it a little. They need to talk about it some more. And it's a fact. Now, what these companies do with our data is the subject of a variety of conspiracy theories. I'm not going to talk about any of those. This is where we kind of get back to the Internet of Things. Web 3.0 can make life better by seamlessly ordering food, trash bag liners, and even toilet paper when we run out. It can also look at you through a rear view camera and predict that you're too upset, too tired, or intoxicated to drive your car, and will automatically call you a ride. Those are probably good things in the right hands. But in the wrong hands, what else can this technology do? How much do we want these companies to know about who we are and what we do on a daily basis, minute to the minute to the minute? So last week we talked about unplugging. And I want to stay on topic with the discussion we've been given. But in your comments, please let me know if you've been able to complete the various classes in this program without Facebook. Or give me some thoughts on what it might look if you deleted it. Thanks. And I'll see you in the comments.